All right, guys, today we are on to lesson 8. Don't open your books yet. Meters and kilometers. Okay, before we get started or read the learning target, I want to remind you that the metric system is based on the meter, and kilometer, kilo, means 1,000. So I want you to keep that in mind today, okay? So let's explore measurements in meters and kilometers. Page 38 in your book. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I want you to find the value of each expression mentally. All right. Raise your hand. What is 3 times 100?
3.
Jerica.
300.
Very good. What is 40 times 100? Delaney.
40,000.
Very, very close. You got the right idea. Gage. 4,000. So this one could be a little confusing. Remember, we're going to take this number times 1. So I know 40 times 1 is 40. And then I've got the 2 zeros in 100. So that's why it would be 4,000. What is 43 times 100? Riker. That one would be 4,300. And 43 times 1,000. Keston. That one is 43,000. So how does knowing 43 times 100 help you find 43 times 1,000? Kara.
So you can figure out the question 43 times 100, and then all you really have to do is add another 0.
It's just one more 0. Okay, Coral.
So what it helped me was to find this 43,000. So I just moved the 3 up and then placed the 3 with a 0.
Okay. One more.
It kind of helps me know that I'm just adding basically another like 10 or like 100 or 1,000.
So another group. Okay. So we're just multiplying this number by 10, which is the same as adding another 0, right? How many zeros are in 10? 1. So this answer is one more 0 than this answer. Did you guys notice that? So it's 10 times as much as 4,300. There you go. Okay. Brooks, you're funny. All right. Put your pencils down. Michael, you should not be starting. Put your pencils down. All right, raise your hand. How long do you think 10 meters is? Let's hear some ideas. Aaron.
10 meters is probably about 20 yards because a meter is more like a foot more than a yard. So combining all the
Okay. So maybe it's about 20 yards. Okay, Gabriella?
1,000 centimeters.
Maybe it's 1,000 centimeters. I want you to think of, let's pretend like I don't know what centimeters are. I don't know what yards are. About how long is 10 meters? Kira?
1 kilometer.
Okay, a kilometer. All right, Riker? The length of our classroom. That's something I would understand if I don't know meters or centimeters. So maybe it's the length of our classroom. What are you thinking?
Maybe like the height of a basketball.
How high a basketball hoop is?
Yeah.
Like at the Nuggets games, like the professional guys?
That's 10 foot.
Okay.
10 foot.
Okay. Oh, some of you guys actually know.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I think of 10 meters, and I was thinking about it, how many of you guys swim? How long, like competitively, how long is one length of the pool? Do you know, Quinn?
I did swim, but they never asked me this question, so that's why I don't know it.
Okay. Do you know, Brooke?
25 meters.
25 meters. So I was thinking in my head, 10 meters is probably half the length of the swimming pool. I don't know. Okay. What about 100 meters? How long is 100 meters? In English, I don't want to hear meters or centimeters yet. Okay? Chase. Okay. Brooks.
1/10 of a kilometer.
Okay, let's say I don't know what kilometers are. Brayden.
A football field, maybe?
Maybe the length of a football field. And I think you're saying maybe because football fields are measured in yards. But maybe, right? Sure. Gage.
Soccer field.
Maybe the length of a soccer field. Okay, Riker.
100-meter dash.
The length of the 100-meter. Well, yes, literally. Last one.
Maybe like a track field or something.
Okay, maybe the length of a track field. Okay. How many meter long strips do we need to make 100 meters? Aaron.
100.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Do you remember we made our meter long strip on, was that just Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. So
10,000.
we would need a lot of centimeters. All right, here's what you are doing. Don't start. Put your pencils down. There are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Does it say that right there on your book?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like this fact right here is kind of important. So why don't you underline it? There are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Okay, if we were going to abbreviate, we would say 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. And guys, right now I'm thinking about meters. My coach on Wednesday nights when I go to CrossFit, he likes to make us do a lot of rowing, and the rower measures it in meters. So I can't really see physically how far I row, but I look at that little display, and sometimes I have to do some converting. Real life. So there you go. Okay, so anyway, the darkly shaded section of the track is the length of a 100-meter race. How many 100-meter races does it take to travel 1 kilometer? What are you thinking? Keston?
10.
How do you know?
Because 100 goes into 1,000 10 times, or 1,000 divided by 100 equals 10.
So I'm guessing you know, first of all, 1,000 meters are in 1 kilometer. And we have 100 meters, right? And we want to know how many 100-meter races are in 1 kilometer, right? So to go from here to here, we would multiply by 10, right? So then we would say 10. Do you guys see that? Okay. So write down that information, guys, and look for the connection, the relationship. Aaron.
Could you also do division to figure it out?
Sure. You could.
1,000 minus 100 because
Divided by?
divided by 100 because those are the two numbers you have to figure that out.
I think for this problem, you could have gone either way to figure out 10. Okay, let's look at number 2 and 3. My goodness. Number 2, okay. Your teacher will give you images of something with a length or height measured in meters. Oh, okay. About how many of the items given to you are needed to make 1 kilometer? Explain or show how you know. Did they give you some space there? More space than I have? Okay, a little bit. All right, so here is what you are getting. You're getting 1 page with soccer fields. I think these are all soccer fields.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it says soccer field. I think you need that for the soccer field questions. And you're getting another page with Statue of Liberties, basketball courts, and Olympic-sized pools. Okay? So you're going to have one of each of these. And you're going to use those to reason about your answers. And number 4, too. Number 4, you're just kind of thinking of that. Where would you wind up if you were a kilometer from our school's front door? I don't know. You're going to have to talk with your partner. And then I think, all right, then we share. Okay, so if I have 1 soccer field, it's 110 meters. So I'm thinking to myself, how many 110s are in 1,000, right? So if I count, well, first of all, I see 110. Wouldn't it be easier to just take the 100 first of all? How many hundreds are in 1,000? 10. How many tens would we add on there? Because it's 110. Wait. What am I thinking? 100, right? Yeah, so it would be 9. 900 plus. Okay, so I'm thinking, this is hard to explain without doing math. So I'm thinking about 110 meters. And if I had 10, that would be 1,000, 100. But we're dividing, right? What are you thinking?
Because 100 times 10 is 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 times 10 is just one more 100.
Okay, Brayden?
I said about 9 because if you did 110 times 9, you'd get 990, which would be closer than 1,100.
So about 9 or 10. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
I think you could probably say about 9 or 10. I would take either answer. Okay, then we had to take a look at Statues of Liberty. How many Statues of Liberty would be in a kilometer? 1 Statue of Liberty is 93 meters, right? So about how many would be in a kilometer? Hadley?
About 10.
Right, because did you just estimate? Yeah. So you'd round it up to 100 meters, and there's 10 hundredths in a kilometer, right? Yeah. So do you guys see that one? Mm-hmm. That one was pretty easy. What about Olympic-sized pools?
I didn't
right. Olympic-sized pools are 50 meters. How many Olympic-sized pools would make up a kilometer? Oh, I hear that baby down the hallway. Chase.
20.
20. Anybody want to explain why it would be 20? Why would it be 20?
Because 20, 50 times 20 equals 1,000.
Literally. 50-meter pools, right? If we had 20 of them, we would get 1,000. All right, and our last one, we have the basketball court, and those are 28 meters. All right, Brayden, how many?
39, because if you round down to 25, there would be 4 and 100 and 4 in each 100. And if you did 100 times 10, it would be 1,000, and that would be, I don't know. I just know
When
it's
you explained it to
39.
me a few minutes ago, it made so much sense. So, basketball court. So what Brayden did is he looked at it and he said, oh, 28 meters, that's close to
30.
25. I thought 30 when I did it, but he thought of it a different way. And we know 25 times 4 is 100. So then, I forget how we got to 39, because at one point we thought 40.
No, because 40 would be over,
Would be-
because it's not exactly 25, so it would be one less.
Because, yeah, that would be too long. So we had to go one less. Okay. All right. So let's look at number 3. I almost said part B, but let's look at number 3. I'm going to use purple. All right, A, raise your hand. 1 kilometer is the length of about or exactly, it's kind of the opposite of number 2. Or actually rewriting your answers, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Keston, start us off.
Exactly?
How many?
9.
9. I agree. B, 1 kilometer is the length of about or exactly Statues of Liberty, Riker.
About 10.
About 10. That's an estimate. Very good. 1 kilometer is the length of about or exactly Olympic-sized swimming pools. All right, Charlie. 20. And is that about or exactly? That would be exactly. 1 kilometer is the length of about exactly basketball courts. Hadley.
About 39.
About 39. I agree. Questions, comments? Oh boy, I'm afraid. Riker.
The soccer one isn't exactly.
It's not exactly.
Yes, 990.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, about. So the only one we found exact was the pools?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
I said it. 4.
4?
No.
4. Which one was 4?
Number 4.
Oh, you want number 4. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Where would you end up if you traveled 1 kilometer from our school's front door? And it doesn't say which direction. So what were you going to say?
Miss McAvoy's house.
Well, no, Miss McElroy's house is about 20 kilometers away. But I don't think Brighton is down the street. I like your thinking, though. Hadley.
Circle K.
We were thinking Circle K, the gas station. What do you think?
Stanley Lake.
The lake might be about 1 kilometer. What were you thinking?
My house.
Your house might be? Yeah. I was also thinking, is Buffalo Wild Wings about 1 kilometer? Yeah.
That's my uncle.
And then I was thinking, hey, wings sound really good. Okay, anyway. Guys, the point, and we kind of synthesized already, but guys, the whole point was to get a good idea of how far 1 kilometer is. So, A kilometer, guys, is a little bit further than a mile. So let's look at what we're going to do in activity 2. So first, don't start writing. I already see your pencils. Put them down. First, I want you to look. What do you notice? What do you wonder? Hadley. Your face is the same as mine was earlier. Like, why are there fractions? Okay. Yes, Hadley, there are fractions. What did you notice?
I noticed that some are blank.
Some are blank. I'm wondering why. What did you notice or wonder?
There's kilometers and meters.
Yeah, kilometers and meters. Good. We got to notice the titles of our columns. Quinn?
I have 2 things.
Yes.
One, I noticed a table,
Yes.
and I wonder why they used a table.
That's a really good question. Last one.
They measure, for the number 2, since it doesn't have like a blank space, they times it by 1,000.
They times it by 1,000 for the number 2. Oh.
Because if you take meters, kilometers is just.
Oh, you're looking here.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that? To go from 1 to 1,000, you times it by 1,000. Do you think that's a little clue or a hint? Clue, I think so. Let's see what we're doing with this. You're going to complete the table with the missing lengths in meters or kilometers. And then do we have a number 2? Oh, then we have questions. And then we're going to synthesize. Okay, I'm going to say work with your math partner, and we'll come back together in 10 minutes. All right. So if we take a look at this chart, is everybody open to their chart?
Yes.
Okay, if you need to make a correction, make sure you make it. Gabriella, open up to your chart. Okay, so the first thing, we have this little hint right here, because we know 1 times 1,000 is, of course, 1,000, right? So we're going to start at the top. So if I have a half, I'm timesing half by 1,000. Literally, I'm thinking, what is half of 1,000? 500 would be correct. 1/2 times 1,000 is 500. In this particular case, you can think of the word of instead of times. Half of 1,000. Okay. Okay, now we're going down to 5, and we're doing it times 1,000 because that's our connection here, right? Our relationship. So what should that equal? Yeah. 5,000. Okay, now, I forgot to hit stop. Okay, now we're going from 6,000 to another number. So we're essentially dividing by 1,000. And what would we get? 6. Because I know 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. Now they went through this lovely fraction in. 8.5 times 1,000 equals, that's equals. What would that equal? All right, Keston. Now, I agree with 8,500, but I want you to explain why.
Because, wait, because the 1/2 at the top is 500, and then you just take the 8, and then times it by 1,000, and then add the 500.
So we have 8 wholes. So we can say, okay, 8 wholes times 1,000 is 8,000. But then I've got this little half right here, right? And if I take half of 1,000, it's 500. And then I put those together and I get 8,500. All right, 10 times 1,000 is what? What's our next one? Everybody, we'll just do everybody. Great, now I'm going backwards, 12,000 meters. 27.
27,000.
All right. And unfortunately, we have run out of time. And I looked through most of yours. It seems like we have the right idea. Guys, the whole point of today was really to get to know how far a kilometer is and to familiarize yourself with that. Tomorrow, we will go a little bit deeper with our converting, okay? I want you to go do your cool down. If you finish it, you can do Bitmoji room.